Hey guys, welcome back to JL History. Have you ever wondered why the USA owns Alaska, a place so far away from home? You might even be wondering why we wanted Alaska in the first place. Well, that's what this week's video is about, so let's get into it. In the 17th and 18th centuries, North America was a hot new place. Everyone in Europe wanted a piece of the economic opportunity. The Spanish had Florida, the French had the frontier areas, and the Dutch even had New York for a while. Scotland tried to make their own colony and failed miserably, but that's a story for another time. But wait, there's one country we forgot about. Russia. Where was Russia's North American colony? I'll tell you. In 1732, after seeing the French become filthy rich from the fur business, Russian trappers first settled Alaska so that they could get that bread. At this time, no official colony was created, but the Russian Orthodox Church sent missionaries to build churches. In 1821, Tsar Alexander I, who is known for his awesome hair, signed an official charter that would make Alaska a Russian colony. At this time, the Russians banned foreign ships from coming within 115 miles of their territory. America really didn't like that, so Russia finally changed the rules. And that's pretty much it for the next 30 years. 30 years later. Hey, get out of my way, peasant. I'm the richest fur trapper in the world. I trap thousands of otters a year. Sir, all of our otters are dead. There's no more furs, and you're very broke. Ah, dang it. By the 1850s, all the otters in Alaska had been killed, and there were no more furs to trap. Now this was a problem because Russia needed as much money as possible to recover from the Crimean War. The Russians also realized that since Canada was right next door to Alaska, if the British took over Alaska, then they would be right next to Russia, and they really didn't want that to happen. Alright, so now it's time to go a bit south to the land of freedom. Just like how in the 1700s, North America was the hot place to colonize, in the 1860s, Asia was the hot new place for colonizing countries, and America wanted a piece of the power. The Secretary of State at the time, William Seward, believed that owning Alaska would allow the USA to trade with Asia. And this was great, considering that Russia really wanted to unload Alaska to a foreign country. So on March 30th, 1867, the United States officially bought Alaska from Russia for $7.2 million, or in today's money, $125 million. While a lot of Americans supported this, many didn't, and a bunch of newspapers said that we shouldn't have paid $7.2 million for a polar bear garden. These newspapers actually called Alaska Seward's Folly, named after the Secretary of State. But they were very wrong. A few years later in 1800, it feels good to be a humble miner in Alaska. Wait a second, what's that shiny thing? Oh, it's gold. For the next few years, Alaska was filled with people mining for gold. Some people started to realize that Alaska was very valuable. A few decades later, in 1968, it feels very good to be a humble prospector in Alaska. Wait a second, what's that black stuff? Oh, it's oil. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Alaska strikes again. We just found oil. It must be clear to you by now that buying Alaska was an amazing idea. In fact, we bought Alaska for $125 million in today's money, and now Alaska is worth $32 billion. Now that's a pretty great investment. This was the story of why the USA owns Alaska. I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe, hit the notification bell to be alerted for future videos, and make sure to leave a comment below to tell me about historical events you want me to cover. Also, thank you guys so much for 100 subscribers. You guys are the best. Thanks for watching and have a great day.